Now both sides of my pillow are made. I folded them up. I've made one of my eyes, and I'm going to show you how to do the second one. It's really simple. You're going to take your 5.5mm hook, and you're going to make, move this, you're going to make a magic circle. Where is my needle? Make a magic circle. Pull that, wrap around, pull through. And into the magic circle, you are going to put 10 single crochet. Okay? 10 single crochet. Make sure this is alright. For rows 1 through 3, you're going to go into the same, back into the same stitch to line it up. Oop, come on. And you're going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 1 through 3. So for sewing his smile on, it's up to you whether you, it's up to you whether or not you want to sew on the smile and the nose and eyes before you assemble your hat, or before or after. Now, I just got my black yarn with my needle. I just pulled a little yarn in, and I'm facing it this way. You just gauge how long you want his smile to be. I think that should be enough, because the pillow is going to poke out. I think that's enough, so I'm going to, let me see. Alright, I've entered this, it looks about the same. So my smile is added on. Now I'm going to cut this part, and it doesn't matter now what the inside looks like, because you're not going to be looking at the inside. So I'm going to snip those two parts. What I do is I tie the smile, or the ends of it, in the back like this. So that it won't come completely undone. Pull a little tighter. Make sure you don't pull it too tight. And then I just continue to tie it until I feel it's tight enough where it won't pull off or pull out the smile. Just keep doing that over and over. Make sure it's secure. And there we go. I'm going to cut off the ends. So the smile is already there. Oh, may have pulled it a little too tight. There we go. Okay, now you're going to want to add the lines to the mouth, or the stitches. Now with the stitches, you're going to follow basically the same thing that you did with the smile. You're going to go in at one part. It doesn't all have to look uniform. They can look jagged. See how you would want it, if you want it across or this way. I usually do it this way, an X. Go back in, pull through, little bit taut, and continue to do that across the mouth in different segments. You know, you can do across here, the other part you can do it up and down. It's just make it look jagged and do your own thing with it. So this is the top part. Make sure my nose is on properly. So now, if you've seen my previous videos with pillows, you are simply going to add both sides together. Hold on 1 moment. Okay, I misplaced my yarn needle or sewing needle, so I had to get another one. Sorry about that. But like my most of my, well, all of my pillow videos, you are just going to line up the both pillow sides, and this time I'm sewing them in, and just make sure you're going into an equal stitch, or the stitch that lines up with the other one, and sew your pillow closed. Or if you want, you can do it with the crochet hook if you don't have a needle, but just make sure you're going into the same stitch on both sides so that it lines up, and periodically add your yarn while you do this. Don't get too far into the sewing up and then forget to add your yarn. But do this all the way around, and like I said, periodically add your yarn, and I will be back to show you, oh come on, I'll be back to show you how to make the Santa hat. This is just, ugh. I took the liberty of joining my sides together. That's how it looks, both ends. And this is the nose. I joined my eyes. I glued my eyes. Make sure you can glue or sew. All depends what you want to do. So I'm going to sit him back there. Now you're going to take your puffy yarn. If you don't have this, like I said, just use white yarn. And you're going to take this yarn and you are going to do a, oh my lord, I almost forgot how to do it, a slip knot. Ooh. And you're going to take your 6.5 millimeter hook. Now, I chained 31, and you chain, depending on how much you stuffed your pillow, you chain the amount that will wrap around the head like this, sort of like, you know, sitting on top of the hat. So like that. You chain as much to sit on the top of the pillow. And now I had 31, but if you need to chain more, depending on how, like I said, how much you stuffed it, it might be more, it might be less. So I chained 31. Now with this yarn, it's actually a lot harder to see the stitches. So I sort of do recommend that you just use the white yarn, because this is a bit hard to look at the stitches on. But you're going to slip stitch. Ooh, Lord help me. We'll figure it out. So you're going to chain 1. I might need to put my, see this, y'all? This is disorienting. Anyway, you're going to chain 1. Okay. Guys, I did it. It's just super hard to do with this yarn. But I did do it. I changed it a bit. Don't chain 1, chain 2. And I did, you can't tell, but this is half double crochet. I chain 2 with my half double crochet because I don't like the to chain 3. It's a bit more and it sticks out, and I don't like how it lines up. but this is half double crochet. I'm going to stick it over his head. I think I'll make one more row, or maybe it's just let's see. I'll make one more row, and then hopefully I'll be able to start with the red. But you just half double crochet around the entire row for row 1, and row 2 you are going to do the same exact thing. For rows 3 and 4, well, row 3 you're going to add on your red yarn, and for rows 3 and 4 you are going to chain 2 or 3 and do a half double crochet all the way around for rows 3 and 4. For row 5, let me move this back. For row 5, you are going to do 2 decreases in the beginning and end of the row and half double crochet in between for row 5. For row 6, you are going to chain 2 or 3, depending on, I just like chaining 2, like I said, because it lines it up better for me, but you're going for row 6, you're going to chain 2 and half double crochet all the way around the row for row 6. It's coming along. For row 7, you are going to chain 2 or 3 and do 3 decreases in the beginning and end of the row and half double crochet in between. And I forgot to show you, if you don't remember how to do a decrease, you will half double crochet and decrease. You go into yarn over, go into one stitch, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and pull through all, sorry about that, pull through all the loops, and that is a decrease, or a half double crochet decrease. Row 9, you are going to chain 2, no, sorry, row 8, you're going to chain 2 and half double crochet down the row. Alright, for row 9, you are going to chain 2 and do 4 decreases in the beginning and end of the row and half double crochet in between. So we're getting to the end of the hat. Let me take this out and set it on the hat. And you want the hat to, well, the hat to sort of slouch on top of the head, you know, over. So it's coming along. It's coming along. For rows 10 through 18, you are going to chain 2 and half double crochet down the row. And for row 19, you are going to chain 2 and do a decrease in every stitch around and yarn off. Alright, now after you yarn off, you are going to sew up your hat, sew the rest up, and then you are going to make your pom-pom to fit at the end of the hat. So it's really easy to do. If you have regular white yarn, you can use that. This yarn I actually like a lot more because I messed up on this pom-pom, and you see how it just looks weird. What I did was you just continue to wrap the yarn around your hand until you get a desired length or desired puff. Mine is this big, really puffy. And then after you have your puff, you're going to take that off your hand and cut out a little bit of yarn, maybe about this big, and sit your puff ball in it and tie it around, and cut off the ends and just fluff it up with this yarn. Just fluff it up, and it makes it look pretty well. So after you make your puff ball, you are going, oh, I needed that. You're going to take the same yarn and add it to your yarn needle. Let me scoot this over some. I'm going to add it to your yarn needle. So taking your pom-pom and your yarn, I'm just going to stab it through the pom-pom and take the end, poke it straight down in the middle of the top of the hat, and pull it out. It's going to be hard to show. Pull it all the way out and down through the hat like that. And get your, pull out as much as you want, and then cut off. So you see my string is here. And then you are going to go back into, this is a lot of fuzzy stuff around me. Hold on. I'm going to cut that off. And you're going to go back into this little end here. This end here. You're going to do the same exact thing so that the end won't be showing. Oop, okay. You're going to go back in, let's say, just pick another side, and go back into the hat, and back down the hat again. Pull that through again. And then you might want to go back through the hat. I'm going to go back through and keep sewing it in until it looks perfectly around the tip of the hat, which shouldn't take that long to do. I want to make sure it looks, you know. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not even showing you guys. So I'm just sewing around the ends here so that it looks better, or the puff ball is exactly at the, so that the puff ball, that it'll look more uniform. So that's my puff ball. I'm going to yarn off back down into the hat, and you're going to have to sew the hat onto the head. So you're going to be using the same exact yarn. So yarn off and get a better, there we go. Whoop. There we go, that's the hat. Now, so you will have to sew your hat onto your head, like I said, and I've gone through about half of that. Situate it on your head how you want it to go. I've sat mine about, let me split this up a little bit more. I've situated mine maybe about here and around the head, so it's sort of slouched at the back of his head if you look at it that way. And sew around, use the same yarn, sew around until you get back to the end. Yeah, just sew around the outside of it. I have a little bit more ways to go. Sew around and sit it how you like on its head, or the pillow. It's basically a pillow. And we're almost done. Oh, and I forgot to say, I will be back with the finished product. And this is the final product. Isn't he cute? Ah! Isn't he cute? Stand up so you can see. this is the final product of the Jack Skellington pillow, Christmas pillow. And I will be back with hopefully a Sally tutorial of the same pillow. So I will see you soon, and I thank you for watching.